If you can hear these words right now, it means you made it through. You are still standing, still breathing, still moving, even after the storms that tried to wash you away. You've walked through moments that felt like the end. Nights so long you forgot what morning looked like. Days so heavy it felt like every step forward was dragging a 1,000-pound weight behind you. And yet here you are. People see the surface version of you, the one who smiles, laughs, nods, and says, "I'm fine." But they don't know the story written behind your eyes. They don't know the silent tears that hit your pillow in the middle of the night. They don't know the times you locked yourself in a bathroom just to catch your breath. They don't know about the days when getting up and facing the world felt like climbing a mountain barefoot. And here's the truth. They don't have to know. Because you remember every scar, every bruise, every battle that tried to take you down. You remember the moments you thought you had nothing left to give, but still gave anyway. You remember the voices in your head that said, "This is it. You can't keep going." And somehow you kept going. That is why I can look you in the eye and tell you with certainty, the hardest part is behind you. You've already endured the nights that were darker than your fears. You've already walked through fires that burned away parts of you, leaving only what was strong enough to survive. You've already carried loads you thought would break your back, only to find your legs still moving. Think about it. The moments you thought were going to destroy you didn't. They hurt, yes. They changed you, yes. But they didn't erase you. They didn't cancel your purpose. They didn't stop your heart from beating or your spirit from breathing. You are living proof that pain is not the end. It's just the proof you were built for more. And here's the part that changes everything. When you've been through the worst, you stop fearing what's ahead because nothing in front of you can match the weight of what's already behind you. The storms ahead will look like rain showers compared to the hurricanes you've survived. The challenges ahead will feel like warm ups compared to the battles you've already fought in the dark. You've already done the part that most people never get past. You survived the breaking point. Some people never make it here. They let the heartbreak keep them down. They let the betrayal make them bitter. They let the disappointment convince them they weren't worthy of more. But not you. You didn't just survive. You walked out carrying wisdom, strength, and resilience you didn't even know you had. The past tried to bury you, but it didn't know you were a seed. And seeds grow in the dark. There was a time when every step forward felt impossible. Every day felt like a fight for air. You were tired in ways no sleep could fix. But what you didn't realize back then was that every breath, every tear, every small act of moving forward was pushing you closer to this moment, the moment where the weight begins to lift, the fog begins to clear, and the road begins to open. Now, the worst is behind you. This doesn't mean the road ahead will be perfect or easy. It means that you've already faced the part of the journey designed to break you, and you didn't break. It means you've already gone through the test that proves you are ready for what's next. It means that what's coming now is no longer about survival. It's about building, rising, and stepping fully into the life that's waiting for you. Look back for just a second, not to dwell, not to get stuck, but to see the distance you've covered. See the battles you've already won. See the things that once made you tremble now look so small from where you stand. That's perspective. That's proof. And if you can see that, then you can also see this. The road ahead may still have curves and climbs, but the steepest hill, you've already climbed it. The darkest night, you've already passed it. The deepest valley, you've already crossed it. The weight you've been carrying has been preparation. The fire you've been through has been purification. The pain you've endured has been transformation. And now you are lighter, stronger, and sharper than you've ever been before. So hear this as more than words. Hear it as truth. Hear it as a declaration over your life. The hardest part is behind you. It's not a question. It's not a hope. It's a fact. You are walking proof that nothing, no storm, no betrayal, no loss, no failure, has the power to keep you from the future that belongs to you. And that means now you are free to run. You know what the world never counted on. That you wouldn't quit. They thought the heartbreak would be the end of you. They thought the betrayal would shut you down for good. They thought the failure would bury your dreams so deep you'd never dare to dig them up again. But here you are, standing tall, not because life was easy, but because you refused to stay down. Do you remember that moment when you felt like you'd reached the edge? When the pressure was so heavy, you thought, if one more thing happens, I'm done. Maybe it was a loss you didn't think you could survive. Maybe it was the moment the people you trusted walked away. Maybe it was when the plan you had for your life shattered into 1,000 pieces on the floor. That was your breaking point. And yet you're here. Here's the truth most people don't understand. Surviving a breaking point changes you in ways nothing else can. It strips away the illusions. It exposes what's real and what's fake. It reveals your deepest weaknesses, but at the same time, it awakens your greatest strengths. Because when everything you depended on collapses, you learn to depend on the one thing that can't be taken from you, the fight inside your soul. The breaking point is where some people stop. They stay in the rubble, replaying the pain, building a home out of their disappointment. They learn to live in survival mode, afraid to dream again, because dreams hurt when they break. But that's not your story. Your breaking point didn't leave you stuck. It made you hungry, hungry to see what's possible, hungry to prove that the end you thought you reached was actually the beginning of something greater. Yes, it hurt. Let's not pretend it didn't. You carried wounds that no one could see. You woke up some mornings wishing you didn't have to face the day. You smiled through moments where you were falling apart inside. You kept going when everything in you wanted to stop. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. You didn't just survive. You kept moving forward. Every step you took when you didn't feel like moving was an act of defiance against the things that tried to break you. Every tear you wiped away was a silent declaration that you would not be defeated. Every time you stood up after falling, you proved to yourself, even if you didn't realize it at the time, that there's nothing life can throw at you that you cannot rise from. Diamonds are not made in comfort. They are made under pressure. And you have been under pressure for a long time. Pressure that could have crushed you, but instead it shaped you. It forced you to grow in strength, wisdom, and resilience. It turned you into something unbreakable. Think about who you were before your breaking point. Maybe you were more cautious. Maybe you worried more about what people thought. Maybe you doubted yourself in ways that held you back. But now you've walked through the fire and come out the other side. Now you know that people can talk, storms can rage, plans can fall apart, and you'll still be here. That's a different kind of power. That's the power that comes from knowing the worst didn't destroy you. And here's what's even more powerful. You're not carrying the same fear you once did. Fear loses its grip when you've already faced the thing you thought would end you. It's like walking through the dark and realizing there was nothing there to be afraid of, just shadows trying to scare you into standing still. Now, when life tries to intimidate you, you can smile and think, you have no idea what I've already survived. And that's why the road ahead is different now. The battles ahead will not hit the same way because you are not the same person you were before. You're stronger, you're wiser, you're braver. You know the taste of endurance, and you know the reward of pushing through. So here's what you have to do next. Refuse to live like you're still at the breaking point. Stop replaying those moments in your mind like they're still happening. Stop talking about your future like it's fragile. You are not fragile. You are forged. You've already done the hardest part. You've already proven to yourself that you can survive the worst. Now it's time to see what happens when you thrive. Because here's the truth surviving, the breaking point wasn't the end goal. It was the doorway. You were never meant to camp in survival. You were meant to pass through it and step into the season where you rise, build, and claim what's yours. The breaking point was the test. And you passed. From this moment forward, walk like someone who has nothing left to prove to fear. Speak like someone who knows their voice carries power. Move like someone who has already paid the price and refuses to waste the reward. You've survived the breaking point. Now it's time to step into the turning point. Right here, right now. This is it. This is the line in the sand between where you've been and where you're going. This is the moment where the story shifts, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, the pain that once consumed you has already done its work. The struggle that once felt endless has already shaped you. The storms that once made you feel small have already passed, and their thunder is now only an echo in the distance. You have walked through the valley, climbed out of the pit, and crossed over the bridge that so many never reach. And now you are standing at the turning point. See, there is a moment in every journey where you can feel the weight begin to lift. You can feel something inside whisper, it's time. The past still lingers in your memory, but it no longer controls your steps. The wounds may have left scars, but those scars have become your armor. The fear that used to paralyze you now looks powerless under the light of who you've become. That's where you are right now. You're no longer fighting the same battles you once did. You've outgrown them. The voices that once kept you up at night no longer carry the same volume. The chains that once held you have already been broken, even if you're still learning how to walk without them. And here's the thing about turning points. They don't announce themselves with fireworks. They arrive quietly. They show up in the moment you realize you've stopped looking back. They appear when you notice you're no longer afraid of the same things that used to own your thoughts. They take shape the moment you see that the pain, though real, no longer defines you. This is not the time to retreat. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to press forward with everything you have, because you are no longer starting from zero. You've already done the heavy lifting. You've already survived the hardest chapters. You've already faced the tests that proved you can stand in the fire without being consumed. Think about it. You have already paid the price in sweat, tears, and sacrifice. You have already endured the nights that built your patience, the struggles that built your strength, the losses that built your wisdom. The debt for your breakthrough has already been paid in full. Now all that's left is to collect what's yours. The turning point is a choice. You can stand here and keep replaying the past in your mind, or you can step forward and claim the future that's been waiting for you. You can allow the memory of the fire to keep you cautious, or you can walk out knowing it can no longer burn you. This moment is a shift from enduring to building, from hoping to receiving, from waiting to walking. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff with the wind at your back. Everything in you knows it's time to leap. And the leap feels scary because you've been in survival mode for so long that the idea of flying feels foreign. But that's the beauty of a turning point. It invites you to trust that the ground you land on will be stronger than the one you left behind. You've already proven to yourself that you can handle storms. Now it's time to see what you can do in the sunlight. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. If you treat it lightly, it will pass you by. If you delay, the momentum will fade. But if you seize it, if you take a deep breath and step into it with full confidence, it will open doors you didn't even know existed. Because turning points have a way of unlocking opportunities that were always there, but you couldn't see them before. Pain clouds your vision. Fear narrows your focus. Survival mode keeps your eyes on the ground, just trying to make it through the day. But now, with the weight lifted and the fog cleared, you can look up and see the horizon stretching out in front of you. It's wide, it's open, and it's yours. So ask yourself, what are you going to do with this? Will you let the turning point pass like just another day? Or will you treat it like the divine moment it is? The turning point doesn't mean the journey will be effortless from here on out. You'll still face challenges. You'll still have days where you stumble. But the difference now is that you are stepping into them from a place of strength, not survival. You're entering them with a history of victories, a record of resilience, and a heart that's already been tested in the fire. You no longer need to prove that you can make it through. You've already done that. Now, You're here to prove that you can thrive. The turning point is your invitation to stop living as though you're still wounded and start living as though you are already healed. To stop talking as though the blessing is far off and start speaking as though it's already yours. To stop walking like a prisoner of your past and start running like the heir to your own future. You've been prepared for this. You've been refined for this. You've been positioned for this. So lift your head, straighten your back, take the step. The turning point is not coming. It's here, and it's time to move. So now the question stands in front of you like an open door. What are you going to do with the fact that the hardest part is behind you? Will you treat this moment like just another day, letting it slip through your fingers? Or will you seize it like your life depends on it? Because in a way it does. The future you've been dreaming about isn't waiting somewhere far off in the distance. It's standing right in front of you, waiting for you to step toward it. You have already survived the fire. You have already crossed the desert. You have already made it through the storm that was supposed to erase you. That means there is nothing left to fear in moving forward. The only thing that can stop you now is you. This is not the season to shrink back. This is not the time to second guess yourself. This is not the moment to wait for someone else to confirm that you're ready. You are ready. Your life has already confirmed it. Every test you've passed, every challenge you've overcome, every valley you've climbed out of, they've all been proof that you were built for this very moment. Stop carrying yourself like someone who's still trying to earn the right to dream. You've already earned it. Stop living like you're still stuck in the chapter you've already finished. The page has turned. The story has moved on. It's time for you to move with it. You need to start walking like the blessing is already on its way. Start speaking like the door is already open. Start moving like the opportunity is already yours. Because when you do, the world will have no choice but to align with the boldness of your steps. No more living in survival mode. No more letting fear make your decisions. No more rehearsing the past in your head like it's still happening. The past was preparation, not a prison. And you hold the key to walk out for good. There's a promise with your name on it. A door that only opens when you show up. A breakthrough that only happens when you stop hesitating and start moving. The time for waiting is over. The time for wondering is over. The time for holding back is over. This is your season. This is your time. You've already survived what was sent to stop you. Now it's time to see what happens when you run without the weight. To see what happens when you dream without the fear. To see what happens when you live without the hesitation. You've been standing at the edge long enough. You've been looking over, imagining what it would be like if you took the leap. But imagining will never get you there. The only way to step into what's next is to move your feet. It's going to take courage, yes. It's going to take faith, yes. But you already have both because you've been using them all along just to get here. Every step you've taken up to this point has been proof that you have what it takes to keep going. Now it's time to stop surviving and start conquering, to stop waiting for perfect conditions and start moving in the middle of imperfect ones, to stop asking if you're ready and start acting like you were made for this, because you were. So take a breath and take the step. Don't glance back at the road you've already walked. Don't waste another second asking for permission from people who never walked your journey. Don't let the fear of the unknown rob you of the blessing that's already prepared for you. You are stronger than the storm. You are tougher than the trial. You are greater than the fear. And now you are free. So go with boldness, with fire, with the unshakable knowledge that the hardest part is behind you. Step into the promise. Step into the opportunity. Step into the life that's been waiting for you to claim it. Don't slow down. Don't hesitate. Don't stop running.